He's got to this point after that injury. Of course, he had the surgery, and then from that point on, his rehab started with throwing some smaller Nerf footballs. Then he increased them to larger and heavier Nerf footballs until 2 weeks ago he started throwing regulation footballs. And remember, he has a brace on his thumb. He's going to wear that today, and that's part of what he had to work through. Then when he started resuming practice, taking snaps from under center, and Brees said this week it was far less painful and far less difficult than he thought. But the key thing was Thursday and Friday of practice this week was him going against live coverage and pass rush and throwing accurately. That was the big deal. He proved himself. That's why he's back. But Richie also will not have running back Alvin Kamara today, so Latavius Murray will get the start. Now, for more on Brees, I'm sending it back to Rich and the guys in the studio.
All right, thanks very much, Steve. What do you expect out of him today?
I tell you what, I mean, I'm a little concerned about this. I mean, I know he's got the brace, and I'm sure the brace prevents the thumb from going back because that's, what happened is it bent back and they tore the ligaments. But I mean, it's completely different practicing as opposed to playing in the game when you're getting up off the turf and you're getting hit and somebody's coming at you and is right in front of you, and that's exactly how you suffered the injury. To have full confidence and trust that you can throw the football, I'm concerned about this. I mean, I had a number of hand injuries to my throwing hand when I was playing, and always want to get back there as soon as you possibly can. And there was a time back in 2000 in Carolina, I came back and I just wasn't ready to play. I mean, I was cleared and I practiced fine. We went down there. There was a little bit of weather. I struggled. I threw 4 interceptions, and it just wasn't the same. I didn't have full control of the football like I usually did. And so I'm concerned a little bit about the rust and just about the trust in what's going on around him with that injury.
And then, of course, I mean, the fact that you can frame this conversation with the fact they've got a bye next week. I mean, it isn't. I
don't understand.
A bye next week would have given seems like the prudent thing to do. But Drew Brees says he's ready, and of course he has earned the right to say it. So we'll be discussing this throughout this program. Western New York, Orchard Park, New York, the Bills Mafia getting all set for a chilly, windy day, but a very nice day for football. A team that's taking on an Eagles squad desperate for a W. Let's go to Mike Garafolo in Western New York.
At 5-1, many still have questions about whether this Bills team is for real, and the players understand that, much as they obviously disagree with it. But while they're not making apologies for their hot start and for how the schedule has lined up, they do believe there is room for improvement on both sides of the ball, and that's actually encouraging for them. Plus, it fits with head coach Sean McDermott's philosophy of Kaizen. That's a Japanese business term that emphasizes constant improvement from the bottom all the way to the top. And as linebacker Lorenzo Alexander told me, we need to be better than we were to start the game against the Dolphins last week, because if we start that way against the Eagles, we are going to lose. They know, despite Philly's 3-4 record, they're much more dangerous than they've looked.
Cousins going deep for Diggs, who catches it and runs into the end zone.
This defense doesn't make the top 20 Eagles defense.
Show me something. Show me something. Nothing.
Last week, the Eagles lost to the Minnesota Vikings. This is worse.
That game last night was disgusting. There's no creativity in the offense at all.
I am done. I am out for the season. We are now second place in the division. Just look forward to the draft already.
Especially back-to-back. These losses, obviously, there's things we got to fix.
The bloom is off the Lambeau Field victory rose for the Philadelphia Eagles. As you could see, that win in Lambeau capped the first 5 weeks where they're averaging more points than they gave up, taking the ball away more than giving it away, and it's been a total reversal of fortune. How will Wentz fare, guys, against the Bills defense that has been feasting on quarterbacks much of the season so far?
Well, the Bills are hot, and the Eagles, Mike, are not.
They are not.
How does this guy right here, Carson Wentz, attack this Bills defense who's playing very well?
Coach, listen, and Carson Wentz here in his defense hasn't had much to work with. The last time this guy had a 100-yard rusher was week 4, 2017. That was LeGarrette Blount. That was 2 years ago. And he hasn't had the deep ball either since week 1 when he had Deshaun Jackson. Yeah. He averaged he was 127 passer rating with Deshaun Jackson, 47 passer rating on deep balls without Deshaun Jackson. Without the run game and without the deep ball, I'm going to need some miraculous plays like you're seeing right here out of Carson Wentz. This is what he was doing back in 2017 prior to getting hurt, Coach. He's going to have to get back to it. He has to knock off that rust and make people know that they can trust he can do it again, Kurt. That's what I'm talking about, the rest and the trust.
Warner, well, you talked about some guys that he doesn't have. I'll talk to you about who he does have. Zach Ertz. You ever heard of him?
Yes, bad boy.
You know, this
now.
guy right here, 116 catches. Let me take you through this. Let me find Zach Ertz right here. He's sitting right there, okay? Little flex tight end. Now,
uh-oh.
Doug Peterson was my backup quarterback over in Green Bay, so we're running a lot of the same things. This is called flanker drive. Here's the flanker. Okay, let's go. We got the flanker. What's going on here?
Coach,
we have the flanker right here, and he's running a sit or a run. All right? We've got Zach Ertz. He's going to run the base across. He's going to sit or run, Kurt Warner, and this guy's going to clear it and take the top off the coverage. All right, here we go. Go back 7 steps. Here's the progression. 1, 2. Throw it in there to the Zach. Check this out, all right? That's a 25-yard completion. You understand how to do an XO? All right, let me show you something else over here.
I like this. I'm a little jealous right here.
Zach Ertz is
What's
right
going
there,
on
Kurt
here?
Warner. What coverage is this? Do you know coverage?
I do know
That's cover 2. All right? That's fine. But here's what they're going to do. They're going to run a scissors route. That means one tight end is going to run a corner, right? And this guy's going to run a post. We're going to go 2-on-1 on that guy right there. All right, let's take a look at it. This is easy. Safety's nice and high. Throw it in there to Zach Ertz. 116 catches last year, only 35 this year. This kid from Stanford in Monte Vista High School is a great player. The Bills play a lot of zone, Kurt, and they're going to chew it up today if they throw the ball. You're not. That's my telestrator.
Can I take that home?
No, you can't.
I like that.
That was pretty good. You like that? Forget about it. That's going to stay right here with Mike and I. All right? All right? Let's take a look at New Era Stadium, Mike. We've got Josh Allen's locker right there. Speaking of quarterbacks, this guy's pretty good.
Had a great game
defense,
last week, too.
Good run game, and he's getting better every week. Josh Allen.
Coming up, a struggling Baker Mayfield has to beat the league's best defense today. And our guys have a plan. Find out how he can get it done against the Patriots. Plus,
He's going to keep it to the 5, dive into the pylon. Touchdown!
there was a huge side